the story is about a German woodcutter, and he had 2 children, and he has a stepwife.
Can Hansel and Gretel...
He has a wife who is a stepmother to the 2 children.
Can they be Siamese twins? Can we make this up as we go?
It's a boy and a girl.
Well, they can be Siamese twins.
I guess you can. And they're sitting in the opener of the story. They're sitting at the table, the husband and the wife, which is the stepmother to the 2 kids.
They make fudge,
and they are.
Do they even issue?
They have no money, and there's just breadcrumbs. And the stepmother says, "There's too many mouths to feed in this house. You got to get rid of somebody." The kids.
I've made that comment in my house.
So the dad.
I used to have 2 kids.
there's a witch down the street. You can send them down there.
The dad agrees. All right, it's due to the famine that's going on, and he and his wife.
Can I ask you? Did she have to talk him into it, or was it like, "Yes, you're right," just right off the bat?
I've been thinking the same thing.
He goes along with it pretty quickly. All right, so they decide they're going to carry the kids into the woods and abandon them. They're just going to let the kids starve. That's the plan, is carry them out into the woods, leave them out there. And so the breadcrumbs are their hopes of trying to figure out how to get back, right? All right. The children, however, found their way to a house made of candy.
There's the candy.
The owner, who's the Wicked Witch, invited them in.
Is this the Wicked Witch of the East?
And her intent is she's starving too, so she's going to eat them. She's going to eat the kids. So
Heck yeah.
Here's the story.
She's like,
hey, honey,
in
we're going to lay
the
down
play.
I want you to have some sweet dreams tonight. Let me tell you about a story of a dad who carried his kids into the woods and left them. And then a witch found them, and they were going to eat them. It gets better.
In the play, the Hansel and Gretel were the secret ingredient to the gingerbread that the witch was going to make for the competition.
Oh, so they had the little twist on it. Huh?
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
See,
it was like Grasshopperville was one of the towns, and something else.
Okay.
Whoever wrote
something
this
wild.
messed up right off the bat, because you're letting us know that, hey, we can't afford to feed all these mouths. There's poverty, but what do? We waste food. We're putting breadcrumbs in the woods to trail. See, so you lost me there. I'm like, this is made up.
Nope.
I was believing you until then.
All right. So
True story.
heads to the witch's house. The one made of candy, and she's intending on eating them.
See, that ain't right either. What witch has a house made of candy? Is that just
One that's
Why
trying to
she-
attract kids.
and nobody knows
Why
about
is
it?
she eating
Gingerbread.
kids and not eating the candy? That's
She's
what,
that close enough to their house that they wandered out in the woods a little bit and then they found it.
Oh no, they've been abandoned. They're wandering in the woods and they stumble onto this house.
Still,
All right. So
You're thinking too
how
logical.
far can kids wander? Not too far.
Hansel, the little boy, is locked into a cage because she's going to quote unquote fatten him up. She's got to feed him.
See,
bet
that
he's
don't
happy.
make sense either because she's hungry too. The witch is hungry and she's gonna fatten. How's she gonna fatten him up? if
I don't
she's
know.
starving?
This is
Feed him
curious.
some
I'm
candy.
sorry. I am really ruining your story.
No,
but it's true.
this
I'm-
is what I intended for us to dissect.
For Jody to ruin it.
That's right.
That's that.
name of the game for me.
But Gretel is not locked into the cage. She's forced to do the witch's bidding, to do whatever the witch tells her to do.
That's
She's doing it.
sexist right there.
That sounds like a country song.
So is Gretel possibly
Is
a
that a country
little
song?
little?
They went down to Georgia something about bidding.
So she not
Looking for
intending
a soul to steal. He was in a bind.
He was way behind.
Yeah,
So is she not planning on eating Gretel?
we've talked about this before.
She's-
We talked about Charlie Daniels. You thought he was alive. He's dead. He was like, oh, he's dead.
He just died a
All
couple
right.
years ago. All right.
We're stepping all over Josh's story.
Excuse me. Back to. Hello. Is this thing on?
Squirrel.
All right.
Once upon a time, there was 2 German people.
Hansel.
woods.
You might have to go back like one sentence because I think I did miss that part.
All right. Hansel's locked up in his cage.
Got it.
Gretel is now being forced to do the witch's bidding, right? And Gretel comes up with a plan, and she pushes the witch into the oven and kills her, and they escape.
Who has a walk-in
with
oven in their
treasures.
house? That's my.
She's shoving this witch into the oven. Like
You think
I
it's a walk-in oven, or you think it's just a normal oven and you trip her
I
up
thought a witch had a pot.
I'm seeing her
on the stove?
I'm thinking this is back to Three Little Pigs. She's boiled alive.
That's what I
in my
think. I
mind.
think you change that up.
You
Throw
got
that bowl of live pot in there.
makes.
She couldn't boil anything because then the heat would melt the candy of her house.
So let me ask you this: what kills a witch? Is
Water.
a
I think
Eat.
Well, apparently an oven will kill them too.
According to Wicked, if you drop a house on her, it kills her too.
that right?
That's it.
I've never seen it.
Well, that's the story of what is
Good
it?
night, kids.
What's the name of the actual show that Wicked's based off of?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, you do. This Isn't Home, Golden Road, The Witch, the Wicked Witch of the West. Oh man,
Dorothy?
Wizard of Oz.
the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, that's what Wicked is. Wicked is.
You know the
Wizard of
monkeys
Oz.
and that's really scared me back in the day.
Don't watch
Those
the new one.
monkeys were.
Don't watch the new one. The Wicked. It's
That's
musical.
a creepy movie. Now I could see the guy who wrote Wizard of Oz might have wrote one of these stories you're talking about right here. That would make sense.
Yes, Christian Anderson wrote a lot of these. Not necessarily these that we're looking at, but a lot of the Disney ones that are remade, they're pretty twisted too. Like Little Mermaid, she dies. She didn't get her.
She did.
She didn't get her voice back. She doesn't get the man.
I don't even know
Don't
the
get
story of
legs.
that.
None of that. All right.
You don't get a voice and you die.
Did.
She was a mermaid that traded her voice for legs. Her singing voice. To
Who
have
comes
legs.
up with that?
I don't know.
Disney
Well,
people.
Christian Anderson did on that one.
I would trade my voice if I didn't have legs. I'd trade my voice for legs. Wouldn't you?
Let's get
Give
back
me
to
this
Hansel and Gretel. All
Stupid
right.
flipper I got.
So Gretel kills her. They escape with the treasure, and they return home. They go back,
You want to put the parents in the oven now? Take that, Mom and Dad.
and the dad regretted that he ever abandoned them, and they
See,
lived
happily ever after.
Well, of course that's what you're gonna. Oh, my mistake.
Does he
Young
kick?
kids.
Does he kick stepmom out? Does she repent and get it right?
It's like Adam and Eve.
Adam-
It was her fault.
They do play the blame game on that one, don't they?
Yeah.